How are you? Happy Sunday. I have been very mellow today, spending time with my family and just enjoying my Sunday. But I realized I had to get this video done because the episode is going to be on in just a few hours. And I think it's something for us to talk about before the episode airs. And then we'll do a full recap, obviously, tomorrow about what happens on tonight's episode of Sister Wives. But I think this deserves its own sort of video because what we're going to talk about is kind of a big deal, right? So, and I also wanted to let you know that I am currently in the process of getting in touch with Nicole Henderson. Her ex-husband, actually still her legal husband, Kyle, was on Sister Wives last week, and she has been sort of not feeling very good the last few days, but I finally have been given her phone number, and so I'll be getting in touch with her. And I know that she said that she told like a mutual person, sort of the middleman, that she really wants to talk and share her stories. So we're going to see if I can set up an interview for her to talk and share about her experience. And mind you, not only does Nicole have background with the same group that the Browns are in, but she also has experience with the Browns. So not only will she be able to share her information about her story, but also give insight and a lot of clarity around what we're seeing on this week's, on these episodes. So, and then a second thing before we get started on this video is that I have been so last week I did a video about my own experience of being a part of a group a couple of years ago for 3 years. And I have received an overwhelming response from people that have been in a situation like that and have been a part of an organization like that, because this specific subset of churches is just not talked about very much. And so what I've been thinking about doing is, and what I spent most of my day doing, was going through old stuff related to my church and just sort of helping. I think people forget that like these belief systems kind of hide in different ways, and how people can get sort of into these groups is very different. But I spent a lot of time reading through stuff, and I was like, you know what, maybe what we could do is a stream on just helping people understand like how things can hide in plain sight, where you think you're getting involved with one thing and then you find out later on that it's completely opposite. So I'll be doing something on that at some point. But this specific video will be, I've just been, also admittedly, I just want to say that opening that can of worms has sort of flooded me with a lot of like thoughts, feelings, emotions. And part of that means that I have this need now to share, because so many people who've come from that same faith background have been like, you need to talk about this more. Nobody talks about this. So I will be that person. So there was a teaser actually last night or yesterday that was released by Us Magazine of this new episode. And tonight's episode is going to be where everything comes to a head. And so the last few episodes we've seen Kody kind of starting to drag Christine, or whoever he believes actually killed this idea of his of having one house, right? Well, he now is going to be going after Meri. And the teaser, oh my God, if this is an indication of what is in this episode, it's not pretty at all. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an argument like this on the show, ever. I mean, frankly, it's kind of shocking. So it starts out with they're at the property at Coyote Pass, and the clip starts out and it has Robin saying to Kody that she doesn't want to like fight with him. So she said to him like, look, I'm not going to sit here and fight with her, talking about Meri. And then Christine and Janelle were also standing there, and then she says, I'll take whatever there is. She can, and then like talking about like her spot on the property. And apparently this all sort of like comes to a head because Meri had agreed that she was going to build her part of the house on this like portion of the property that has a lot of trees. And then I guess like she decided that she didn't want to build there. And so Kody had it in his mind that that's where all these people's houses were going to be. So Meri's was going to be here, blah, 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 blah. Well, I guess Meri decided that's not where she wants to build. And so somehow Robin decides that she'll take that spot. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But so he starts going at her and he's like yelling. And he's like, I was already giving you everyone else's table scraps, Robin. Do you think that's fair? I don't. And she's trying to talk and he's going off and off and off. And she just said, I just think it's so dumb that we're fighting over this. I can't sit here and complain and act like I'm a big fat baby about this. I'm not a victim here. And then he's like, Robin, stop defending Meri. Stop acting like you're not getting the S-H-I-T end of the stick. Like he literally has, they bleep it out. Like when have we ever heard him having to have something bleeped out, right? He has to bleep it out. And he's like, Robin's like still trying to get her voice heard. And he's just like, will you just stop? No. And he's just like screaming at her because she's trying to defend Meri. And he like walks off to the car and he's like, I'm just done with this conversation. I'm so sick of trying to accommodate Meri. I'm so angry right now. I almost can't talk. And that's where the truth is revealed. I'm so sick of having to accommodate Meri. That's what it's about. And it's a tension between these two of them believing that Kody like wants to have control, and then he's not happy that they have loyalty to Meri because he doesn't like Meri. That's what this all comes down to. He then tells her that, like, as he's getting more and more and more and more agitated. Oh, hey, Sunny, thank you for the super chat. He's getting more and more and more agitated, and he tells Robin that Meri plays mind games, and she's been doing this for years. He's like, this is the game she plays. She's always played it. She's played it from day one. So basically saying that like she'll shift her decisions, she'll like she'll change her position just so she can manipulate things and get whatever it is that her way, or else just to cause strife with whatever's going on. So again, he is pinning the wives against each other. And then at some point, like, he's like trying to point out, like, Meri's treated her and her, like, pointing to Christine and Janelle. And then Janelle, like, even literally steps in and was just like, Kody, like, stop. This isn't, like, solving anything. And then behind the scenes, you know, Janelle's like, I can see where he's at. He thought this was all done, all squared away, and it wasn't squared away. But then he's getting more and more agitated. And so he literally says this is so bad. He goes, she won't be happy unless she has all of you bowing at her feet, waiting for her to decide what she wants. So he's asserting that Meri wants all of the wives to basically kiss her butt, wait on her like opinion, wait on what she wants, and then make their decisions around what she wants. Now, in some respect, I could see like the hierarchy because she was the first wife. Maybe there's some sort of like structure where they feel like they have to respect her because she was there the longest. I have no idea. But he says that she's playing these games. And then even Robin drops an S-bomb and she says, stop saying S-H-I-T like that. And then even Christine's trying to like calm him down and back up Robin and say that that's not true and that this argument isn't going to help anything. And then he's like, you guys just saw it unfold. And then they just keep going and going and going. And eventually he says to them, on an interview on the off camera, sorry, I have notes for this, but he says, I think they would prefer to fight with me than fight with Meri. In some ways, they're taking Meri's side on this, and that's their prerogative. They're loyal, at least. So they literally, Robin is just trying to say, like, listen, Robin seems to me in this whole argument, the way it's going down is that she doesn't necessarily care where she says that she like tells him like all these properties are beautiful, all the lots are beautiful, it doesn't matter to me, like, because she was probably going to switch with Meri and let Meri take where her spot was going to be, you know what I mean? But then that gets him enraged, thinking that she's giving Meri what he wants. And then when he says to this, I'm sick and tired of having to accommodate Meri, that to me is really sort of the underlying issue here, is he's tired. He's done with Meri. He doesn't want to have to deal with her. And part of me does think that maybe because of the way that he's treating her, she's like, well, if you're going to treat me like that, I'm just going to do what I want. I'm going to make it harder for you. And what's interesting is that the wives haven't always taken Meri's side. So that makes me wonder in some maybe sort of iota if that these wives are starting to see the way that he treats her and are maybe seeing like, well, if he treats her like this, he could treat me like this. Or maybe they're just fed up with them acting like a baby. But at the end of the day, him not getting what he wants and then him getting derailed because of Meri, because she doesn't want to be the spot that he had designed for her, and then him feeling like he has to accommodate for her, makes him then disparage her to her sister wives, who then try to stick up for her. And then he gets mad that they side with her. So it's, to me, this is like about control. He doesn't like, it's the power struggle. Meri's like, well, I'll get them on my side, and Kody is losing in that respect. But the interesting thing is that Meri put this out on Instagram today. I love people who are direct, you know where they stand, and they don't play games. And I think that might be directed directly at Kody as we're looking at this episode coming up, because I think Kody plays a lot of games with these people. And I honestly can't blame Meri for feeling the way that she does, because in this situation, she's not being treated right. She's forced to stay there because of her faith. And he treats her like garbage. And then he wants everyone else to treat her like garbage because he doesn't like her anymore. And she's not going to leave, because if she leaves, she loses everything. So at some point, this family is going to completely blow up, because two people can't stay in this situation forever. So I don't know when that's going to happen, but, you know, there's always this idea that Kody could very well, like, at some point kick Meri out, because that happens. Like, if a husband in polygamy doesn't want to deal with a wife, he can literally just be like, you're out, you're done, get out. And I don't know why he doesn't do that. Because he could. It's weird. It's super weird that he doesn't do that. So I don't know where this is going to go, but I promise you that I will see what I can do about getting Nicole Henderson on. As always, I will walk through this next episode that comes up tonight with Amelia. And we'll sort of talk through what he's doing and how he does it. And so tomorrow what we'll do is we'll do the recap of the whole episode, and then along with like what the reality is, so that we can sort of talk through like what's going on in this polygamous family. So at the end of the day, this kind of lifestyle it just makes everyone miserable, and people stay in the misery because they're promised this elusive goal of getting into a kingdom that doesn't have the tiers that people say it does, and doesn't have the rules that are say it is. And everyone that leaves, according to the people I've talked to, says that everything they're taught is a lie. So it's sad. They're very groomed and brainwashed. So we'll get there tomorrow, but I will be back in a little while with a little bit more, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do that personal thing tonight. Oh, one more thing, since I have a large group of you here, if you're not yet following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Without a Crystal Ball. Please follow me on Twitter at WOACB official. And then also, I'm debating adding this new season of 90 Day Fiance to the lineup since a lot of you have been asking for it. And there's been some activity where there's not as many people talking about it. John Yates, who had been doing a lot of the coverage of it, he is actually taking a long extended break. And so with that being said, if you are interested in me picking some of that up so that you can still get your fill on it, I have spots available for more content. So tell me if you want me to cover this newest season of Before the 90 Days. All right, I will be back in a little while. Bye, guys.